Hi everybody, Joe Malarkey with another Secure CRC update. Are cyber criminals living rent-free in your refrigerator? I know it's one of the crazier sounding clickbait-worthy intros I've come up with, but I'm not kidding. The prevalence of smart devices is increasing exponentially. Smart TVs, smart video cameras, smart cars, and yes, even smart refrigerators. These devices are collectively called IoT, or Internet of Things devices. It's a great idea. Who wouldn't want to be able to tell your refrigerator to make more ice for that party tonight, or to turn down the thermostat, all from the convenience of work or some coffee shop across the street? Unfortunately, with that freedom comes problems. It seems that in the rush to make all these devices available and programmable from the internet, manufacturers forgot to think about security. Most of these devices are still wide open out of the box from a security point of view, with default usernames and passwords that everybody knows, and they're being infected with malware at an alarming rate. In fact, cybercriminals have turned vast numbers of these devices into botnet armies and are using them to propagate DDoS, or distributed denial of service attacks. Now that's just an attack where you get a bunch of devices, cameras, refrigerators, whatever, to suddenly send traffic at a website, effectively blocking all the other traffic. They're even selling this botnet attacking capability for money. Don't like your rival? You can bring down their site for a few $1,000s. In fact, two competing IoT botnet rivals, Mirai and Qbot, have even gone to war with each other by filing abuse complaints with various web hosting firms. These complaints warned these hosting companies that they were providing IoT botnet control channels that needed to be shut down by their rivals. You see, these two were competing against each other, even writing their virus code such that once infected, an IoT device protects itself against rival infection. What's more, when service providers actually ignored these complaints lodged by one of those IT criminals against the other, the criminals attacked the service providers until they complied with the request. It's crazy. These worms have mirrored the rise of a new industry called booters and stressors, which perform these attacks in order to boot users off of systems or stress other systems beyond their limits. The FBI has actually issued several PSAs about the issue, and a bill has been introduced in Congress to address the security issues of all these smart devices. But booting and stressing isn't all that these infected machines can do. In 2015, it was reported that hackers could actually take over many computer functions in a Jeep Cherokee, including transmission at highway speeds. Jeep actually had to issue a recall. And let's not even think about all those Wi-Fi cameras in your home that might be under the control of some pervy hacker. In 2017, the authors of the Mirai worm were convicted. It turns out they were basically kids in their 20s on a joyride, although the penalty in one instance included an $8 million fine. Well, now it's doubtful that $8 million is actually ever going to get paid. After all, they could just declare bankruptcy and the whole thing would disappear before they even turned 30. Worse, in an effort to divert attention from themselves before they got caught, those authors published the code to the rest of the world. As a result, copycats started springing up everywhere. Now there's a new variant called IoTroop, or Reaper, which has been slowly propagating to other IoT devices since 2017. So what can you do? Number one, keep your devices behind your router. Your router is a firewall that can offer some protection from an infection. Ask your home's manufacturer about whether smart devices are connected directly to the internet. As with other devices, update. Check the device manufacturer website to see if your device has a firmware or software update. Updates are the best way to close vulnerabilities. Many attacks and infections happen because devices are not updated with the patch that would have thwarted the attack. Change the default password, if you can, that is. Some devices have hidden default usernames and passwords that, believe it or not, actually can't be changed. Turn off the device's universal plug-and-play, as well as any peer-to-peer networking service. You don't need those, and they're just doors waiting for a hacker to knock on. Other than that, you might actually want to just stay away from smart devices entirely until some sanity prevails. IoT promises a new world of convenience and integration, but if we don't get a handle on the security of these devices, they could and will rise up to terminate us. I'm Joe Malarkey. Thanks for listening.